Yeah, about that, that I think I mentioned during the last video that you wouldn't have to wait for half a year until the next video would drop. Technically, I wasn't wrong. I mean, this one's honestly taking way longer. But yeah, anyways, activity on the channel. Why, you may ask? Well, I'm not quite sure yet, to be honest. Thinking about doing some content, but I'm a bit unsure as to what content I'm gonna do. So just let me check my bank real quick. Okay, don't mean to panic right now, but something is apparently up with my bank, or obviously, rather, like my gear tabs are looking hell empty right now. And I could have sworn that my total value was like 2.5 the last time I checked. I mean, granted, I haven't been online for a few, but like, I'm not quite sure what's happened here. Like, if I would have gotten hacked, then surely they would have taken like actually everything, including the T-bow. So I'm pretty sure we can rule out the hacking. It feels like I'm forgetting some. Uh-oh. Yeah, now remember. I sold all my gear for GP that I then spent on bonds. Now, I'd like to say that I was sorry that you had to deal with a super cringe intro, but in reality, I'm really not. The reason for that one being there was just because I'm trying to actually like get better at editing in Premiere, and as you may have seen, there's a few more effects than I usually have in my videos, and I'm hoping that my skills are just gonna progress within Premiere. But yeah, enough blabber about Premiere and all that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video now. So this is going to be hopefully the last one for quite a while, like a story time that I've done whenever I wanted to talk to my viewers of the channel, and thus the background footage of me killing the alchemical hydra is not relevant in any way, shape, or form, other than relating to a topic that'll come up a bit later. But nothing of greater importance really happens. It's just so I wouldn't have to force y'all to like stare at a black screen. Now, with that being said, I'm also going to try to keep this short and sweet, mostly because I don't think anyone's interested in hearing me ramble or in listening to me ramble for an extended period of time, as I tend to do that. And also because there's quite a lot of stuff that's been going on during the last half a year that they all probably could be elaborated on in like greater detail. But if you have any questions, you can just ask me whenever you happen to stumble across me, either in real life or online or whatever. But yeah, anyways, so some of you may have noticed that the thumbnail, which is, by the way, I make all my thumbnails shitty on purpose, mostly because I'm really bad at using Photoshop, but I also kind of like the having a bad thumbnail aesthetic. But you may have spotted that there may be some symbolism to it, a burnt out lobster with my face on it, and then old school RuneScape in 2024 and life updates and all that. And I'm just gonna lay it out flat on the table. Like, the reason why I haven't been uploading any content is because I was so goddamn burnt on RuneScape and OSR specifically, as I don't play RS3. But there's a lot of reasons for that, really. Like, the biggest one just maybe being that I went way too hard on the game. I played it on an almost daily basis for close to 2 years, and I'm a person who usually needs a lot more variety. Like, I usually don't stick to like playing only one game, because variety is the spice of life after all, and I feel like in order to make engaging content, then I actually have to be interested in what I'm doing, and that hasn't really been the case with old school RuneScape since like February or something, pretty much since the last video. Now, the final nail in the coffin when it came to my motivation with old school RuneScape was the fact that just didn't get lucky anywhere. The video that was supposed to come out like during spring was actually me killing Vardorvis, and I have clips of it still, but they're very disjointed, and you could hear that I'm not enjoying myself in them, so I really don't necessarily care to show them to anybody because I don't feel like they'll even be funny to somebody. But yeah, I tried to make like a how many KC does it take to get the Vestige, some Gospop's gone super dry for the Vestige on his main, and I figured like, okay, I'll make a little video dunking on him, getting the Vestige faster. And that did not pan out. I think he may have gotten more KC since the last time I played, but at one point I was drier than him with more KC on my main. And that paired with us sending a lot of raids, a lot of Chambers of Steric, lots of TOA, and just not getting rewarded anywhere, honestly just made me lose interest in the game super fast. And I'm also guilty of just blindly staring at my end game goals. Like, it feels like I forgot to essentially have fun playing the game. I just started to think about like playing a game from a content perspective, that I had to do stuff that was like interesting to the viewers or to the audience, and I have a pretty high barrier what I deem to be like actually interesting content. I don't necessarily see me doing some goddamn herblering or something as super engaging. So the pursuit of just getting engaging content paired with a lot of other factors just made me burn out in a spectacular fashion. And that's also the reason to the intros get like the whole why my bank's looking as it is, because I wasn't really planning on necessarily even returning to RuneScape. Like I got bonds just so I'd be able to bond up any account that I would have wanted to play on. And as you did see from the intro, I've ended up bonding up my main because I slowly but surely kind of had the itch to essentially come back and play the game, but in a more casual setting. Now, a couple of very eagle-eyed individuals may also have noticed that my Twitch channel as well as my YouTube channel, they've changed names, and that reflects like in the variety aspect that I was talking about earlier. Like I'm pretty lucky that my channel hasn't really taken off neither or Twitch or on YouTube, but they haven't really blown up from anything. So I feel like it's a pretty opportune moment for me just to essentially transition into being a variety gaming channel. I'm still probably gonna stream some RuneScape every now and then, but every stream's not gonna be an OSRS stream. And there's a lot of other games and stuff that have piqued my interest in recent times. Like I've surprisingly to myself, I've gotten into horror games, which is something I never thought would happen because I'm a giant coward. But we played a lot of a game called Phasmophobia with my workmates, and then we got into another game called Lockdown Protocol. I also played through the Dave the Diver. I haven't 100% of the game just yet, but that may be coming up, whatever. And I have a list of games that I do want to play on stream and that I feel like will be a good time for both me and the viewer. But yeah, this is like the official service announcement for the channel that my YouTube and Twitch are going to be focused on variety. RuneScape's not entirely going somewhere, but it's not going to be like the only game feature on the channel anymore. And that kind of nicely segues into my Twitch. Some of you may know that I streamed during May or June, a couple of days a week, as much as my work schedule and just general adult life allowed me. And that hasn't been the case. I haven't streamed for 3 months now, almost. I think that's down to the fact that my apartment complex got turned into a construction site. Like they started doing a lot of refurbishments on the apartments as they're super old. But they had to do some work inside of my apartment, so I was unable to use it for almost 3 weeks. And there's a lot of sounds and just like banging and construction noise going around, so it's been really hard to stream, and I don't really necessarily feel like I want to stream in that environment either. The good news on that front would be that I'm moving to a brand new renovated apartment during the end of this month. So the Twitch streams are going to be back from October, possibly even earlier, depending on kind of when I get all of my stuff set up. Now, being burnt on the game and not being interested in gaming, it's not the only reason as to why you haven't seen any content. I'm pretty sure I could have forced something or just made a clips compilation like out of the random recordings that I have. But the final topic of this video would kind of be a health update, because a contributing factor as to why I haven't really uploaded anything is that I just haven't felt like, I'm not even saying inspired is the right way, but I just found it so hard to sit down and do anything at the computer when it comes to editing. Like since I do have a lot of recordings, like whenever I'd sit down and start clipping them, I'd be able to do that for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I just lose interest and want to do something that rewards me with a quick dopamine hit instead, because that didn't feel rewarding. And that paired with other like behavioral stuff that I've kind of experienced throughout my adult life kind of led me to believe that there may be something behind these issues, that it's just simply not that I'm not interested in doing that, because obviously I would have loved to keep my YouTube channel going. But I started talking to Dad, who's worked within the healthcare system for a very long time, specifically in psychiatry, and he just kind of threw the idea out there that, hey, you may want to go and get checked up for like ADHD, because there's been a red line whenever in my life, be it in my private life or like when I've been studying, if it's something that I'm even slightly not interested in, like in the slightest, and I try to force myself to do it, then just hasn't worked whatsoever. Like I can do it for a couple of minutes. It was apparent when I was studying at uni during the pandemic, and we had online classes. I was be playing something, I wouldn't be paying attention to that at all. And now it became very apparent with my video editing stuff as well that I was really bad at getting shit done. Stuff would pile up, and then I'd be super demotivated to essentially try to get a start on it, because the workload had piled up from 5 hours of clips to having like 20 to 30 hours of clips, and it just felt impossible to get a start. So I figured I'd take his advice, and I went to a clinic that specializes in identifying like adult ADHD or ADD. And I actually got my diagnosis this week, and it came back positive for adult ADHD. And with that came a medication, which I assume is kind of similar to Adderall. It's just a European brand. I've been started out on a quite low dose of it because that's kind of how you do early doses when you start out some new medication. Like you don't go too heavy on it. And I was warned by a lot of my friends that there can be pretty adverse like side effects and whatnot from it, that you may start feeling really bad, or you may be super angry, like, or easily aggravated rather, and other symptoms that did not sound super appealing. But I just figured, okay, what do I have to lose? Like, you have to try it. I feel like I had to try it just to get confirmation, especially with the diagnosis, see if it actually worked out for me. And I'm happy to say that it actually worked out super good for me, like beyond my expectations even. I feel like this video is a testament to that, because I was just playing some, like, the footage of me killing the Hydra is actually recorded today, and while I was doing that, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I should probably make the update video that I've been thinking about doing for my channel for the longest time. And I almost fell back on the whole line of thought that I used to have, that nah, I'm too tired, I don't want to do this right now, I don't feel inspired, I just want to play and chill for a while, until I, probably with the help of, like, I feel like the medicines like increase my focus, productivity, and just kind of like maybe mental resilience against stuff that doesn't interest me, but that I'm able to power through anyways. That just kicked into full effect, and I decided, no, we're logging off OSRs now, and we're putting out the goddamn video. Like, we're not postponing this, because I know well that I just as well as anybody else that it's not gonna get done. And yeah, okay, I spent way too long of a time trying to get fancy with the effects in Premiere, because I would ideally like to have a future within like video editing or some like more creative aspect as well. So I am actively trying to elevate my game, as well as like my recording methods and all that. But no, I'm just that kind of, the whole like me proving to myself that I'm able to do something if I just put my mind to it, really just gave me better hope for the future, and gave me more confidence that I'll be able to actually maintain I won't say a regular upload schedule because I'm still working, but a more consistent upload schedule than twice per year or something. Because if I had a lot of people tell me that they do enjoy my content and that they want to see more of it, then I'm very happy to provide that, honestly. But that kind of segues into the last point of this video, which is like, what's the future right now? What's coming up in the near future, rather, because you already know about my like variety plans. So I'm probably not going to make any OSRS content, but I have a lot of recordings of that horror game that I told you all about before. And the only problem is that I play it with my workmates and friends from real life, and as I do live in Finland, then we don't speak English while playing with each other. Like, occasionally we'll have some of our coworkers with us that do not speak Finnish, and then obviously we speak English. But about 95% of the content that I do have recorded is all in Finnish, and that just makes it kind of a very time-consuming endeavor to start subtitling, trying to get that nicely into the video, and also bleeping out a lot of the inappropriate comments that people inevitably make when they get scared, because the game is super intense. I feel like it'd be a good time to upload some of that, but it'll require a lot of work, and I also do need the consent from everybody who's participated in the sessions, or their permission rather, that I can upload their voice and all that to YouTube. And then it's going to take a while. I want everybody who's involved within the clips, if they do give me their permission, to get a preview of the video before it's uploaded on the internet, because it wouldn't feel fair to me to upload something that features somebody who hasn't had a chance to see how they're essentially represented it first. But yeah, that's something that's hopefully coming up in the future. And then Twitch streams resuming at the latest October. A couple of new games. Probably gonna do a couple of game reviews. And who knows, like, I'm finally starting to get a bit interested in RuneScape, so maybe I'll do like a little quick YouTube clips compilation, because I am still recording the majority of my interactions in RuneScape. But yeah, I think that wraps up this video really nicely, honestly. It's gone on for a bit longer than usual, but that's something that I'm probably never gonna be able to change. And I just want to finish off by saying, like, that if you have listened to this entire video, and if you saw it in the first place, just like I don't expect anybody to check my channel for new uploads, then I really appreciate you. And I do promise that there's going to be more stuff coming up in a very near future, and you're going to get more than 2 videos a year, maybe 3 next year, actually. No, just kidding. But yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a beautiful day. Much love to you all, and I'll see you in the next upload. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention while I was recording the speech, but per usual, all my homies whose content I really enjoy and who are awesome people are linked in the description per usual. While waiting for my next Twitch stream or upload, then please go and show them some love. Alright, now I'm going for real though. Have a good one.